And again, as we say after every break, guys, for those of you just joining us, this is all building up to our $20,000 land final in February. I believe the 21st and 22nd of February, so we're still a ways out.
Yep.
But again, our sponsors make the show possible. So again, a big shout out to Western Digital and Crucial. And if you want to check out some of their upcoming Cyber Monday deals, go ahead and head over to esl.gg/neweggEsports. On that note, guys, we are getting ready for Pinpingho versus Max. Max, a British player who made it in from the open bracket, and Pinpingho, a Taiwanese player who we saw took second place in the last week of play.
Yeah, and you can see their deck lineups right here. Shaman, Hunter, Warlock for Pinpingho, Druid, Priest, Hunter on the side of Max. So, again, not seeing any Warlock in this series. And, oh, actually, yeah, we are seeing Warlock. So Pinpingho does have the hand lock. So,
oh, yeah. I get those confused, too. Don't worry. Warrior, Warlock, it's all it's so similar. Anyway, so, yeah, Shaman versus Druid in that first match, in the first game of this match.
Yeah.
Is a match, a matchup we've now seen twice or maybe even 3 times today. It's one of the more frequently occurring ones. Again, for those of you just joining us who haven't seen this format yet, the first 3 games of each match are just a random order, so it's effectively a blind pick.
Yeah.
But the reason we're seeing more classes like Shaman or Druid is that this tournament just trends a lot more towards what you'd see on ladder. So classes like this, which are just consistent against the overall field of play, they are very strong.
Yeah.
And, I was going to say, like we saw from Max, it is that rampy style of Druid.
Wild Growth in the opening hand, followed by a Shade of Naxxramas. One of the scariest things to be able to deal with is an innervated Shade into a Wild Growth is a fantastic start.
Especially on the coin. You coin out the Wild Growth, and I always like to think, when you coin out Wild Growth, it just gives you a coin every single turn.
Or basically it means you went first.
Yeah.
So you lose a card.
Yeah.
Give up 1 card to go first.
Yep.
That should be the text of Coin Wild Growth.
There we go. So Pinpingho on his Shaman deck, we did mention it earlier. It's a bit more mid-rangey compared to some of the other Shaman that we've seen recently.
It's a little bit weird.
It's a little bit funky.
Yeah.
Last week he had some Yetis in there. He has the Shade of Naxxramas that you see. So yeah, he's a player that I guess, you can't knock success. If it works, it works.
Yep.
We may not be hyper-intelligent beings who can understand why a deck like that works, but when he makes second place in the last week's matches, and then again makes it to the semifinals here today, you can't knock success.
You cannot knock success. And oh wow, okay, so a turn 5 Innervate Ancient of Lore is a really great play, and we'll see if that's what he's going to be able to do on that turn. But I mean, right now it's this is a pretty easy turn here. Shade of Naxxramas on turn 3. You want to get that shade out as quick as you possibly can.
Yeah.
But this Miracle Druid style deck, they actually have a lot of low cost spells. The Innervates do really great in that. Usually they run Moonfires.
I thought it was ramp because of that Wild Growth in the opening hand. It totally threw
maybe we just didn't see
off.
the Gadgetzan Auctioneers. Maybe he was running the same exact deck, but the Auctioneers seem to be being put in almost every single deck that we've seen.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this silencing. Yeah, he's going to pop out his Shade probably earlier than he wanted to. Or actually, no. He might even just keep this stealth in here. Yeah.
Yep. One of the interesting things about Miracle Druid, by the way, is that Innervate is kind of like a preparation in many ways.
Yeah.
But the thing is, you can prepare into a minion.
Yeah.
Unlike in Miracle Rogue, where you're pretty much forced to top deck a great spell to follow up with, and then if you get a minion, you're just out of luck. In this case, you could even like Innervate out a hero power.
Yeah. And I mean, this is a pretty slow start for both players here. I'm curious to see what win conditions Pinpingho is going to have in this deck. I'm not sure if we saw them earlier, but I remember him having a little bit of trouble. He did have the Alec here.
Yep.
And he played the Miracle Rogue game against the Miracle Rogue in Blackout earlier, and he was 1 turn away from lethal. And then he died.
Well, here's what we're talking about. The Gadgetzan Innervate Wrath. Oh, no, instead he just decides to go ahead and Innervate out the Ancient of War. Wants to develop that board a bit better. I wonder if this is a sign that he's going to go ahead and attack with that Shade. No. not
Oh,
this
wow.
turn.
Also has the Ragnar's in this deck. So this is a really weird deck.
Really, really interesting.
Yeah, this is actually very similar to what the Miracle Druid that we've seen Life Coach run. And it's pretty good. It's been pretty consistent, at least if in the DreamHack games that we've seen over the past couple of days. Druid has had a really high win rate, and a lot of those have been that Miracle Druid. But sometimes it can fall flat on its face. And there's those Yetis. And of course, there's the Moonfires as well, so he can start the cycle if he really wants to. He's got the Claw, got the Moonfire. Of course, you talked about it a little bit earlier. Druids don't have that Conceal.
Yeah, they don't.
Yeah, so anything that you want to remove that Gadsden Auctioneer with, it's all, you can just throw it out willy-nilly.
Yeah.
Shamans have no shortage of ways to remove, especially those 4 health.
Oh, wow, but he's
going for it.
Gadgetzan. Got the Claw, got the Moonfire. Will be able to take out this
He's
healing
all
totem.
in.
Oh, wow. If this Auctioneer can stay for one more turn, then that is, I mean, just such a strong power play with these spells in hand.
Yeah. Using that Claw, it's basically just to draw a card. He only cleared out the totem with it. He's just going to end turn, so he's going to keep that Shade Stealth there.
This
That's
is a
big.
miracle. This
Yeah.
is a miracle.
Yeah, so Yeti, it's a great mid-range creature. Don't see it in Shaman decks very often. Usually it's sort of hard to fit it in with a lot of those, but I guess we did see Phrase, of course, earlier running that Ancient Mage that fits that 4 slot really nicely.
Yeah.
It's very hard to remove, and Shaman usually has a pretty bad matchup against Priest.
Yep.
So maybe Pinpingho put that in there to shore up that matchup just a little bit more. Maybe give him at least a chance to win, because I think that's one of the most lopsided matchups in Hearthstone right now.
In the end, though, we don't know where Pinpingho's power comes from. We don't know if it's the Yetis, the music he likes to listen to,
or his breakfast.
He could have the breakfast of champions. Although this guy's from Taiwan, so I think his pre-meal prep
saying,
is
dude?
more about the dinner.
What are you saying? That Taiwanese players don't eat breakfast?
Wow, that's BM. Yeah. What is
I
he
guess
gonna
it is
decide to do here?
pretty late over there when they play.
Yeah.
Well, right now, I mean, it's getting close to dinner time here.
That is true. So it's probably like 3 a.m. over there in Taiwan right now.
Yeah.
Pinpingho is a trooper, man. For these guys who, a lot of the people playing in these tournaments we haven't seen so much of yet. This is what you got to do if you want to break into the massive Hearthstone tournament scene.
Neither of these guys are playing from the Americas. Actually, how many players are actually from the Americas here?
And do you
Phrase-
even count D2? Maybe he played from Japan. We don't
Phrase,
know.
UK, D2, possibly Japan, Pinpingho, Taiwan, Blackout, UK, Max, UK.
Also UK, yeah.
Noxious.
He comes from a special faraway land. Some say it's not even on Earth.
Yeah, Hogwarts.
Hogwarts. So I guess that counts as UK. Half our players are from. There we go.
Oh, wow. So he's actually just going to try and...
Maybe with the Druid of the Claw? Sorry, Keeper of the Grove?
Yeah. So he really is not happy with his hand.
Yeah.
So he's going to try and dig for some more answers. Still has the Rag available. Still probably has another Auctioneer's deck. And we talked about it a little earlier. The Auctioneer on turn 10, Wild Growth combination. That draws you 3 cards.
Yep.
1 from the Wild Growth, 1 from the Excess Mana, and 1 from the Excess Mana Gadgetzan.
I would be surprised if he didn't clear this Mana-Tide Totem. I think he's just thinking about how. Does he want to use the Moonfire spell, hero power, or just go ahead and drop the Keeper? He drops the Keeper. He is very well prepared for Savage Roar right here.
If you don't have Gadgetzan Auctioneer, Moonfire is a pretty silly card.
It's pretty ridiculous. It's the Wisp of spells.
Yeah.
Wisp may even be a better card than Moonfire.
Yeah.
When you don't have that.
Well, I don't know. It depends.
The 1 damage you get.
Yeah.
For 0 mana in a card.
Well, how long is he going to keep this shit in Acrama Stealth?
Oh, there's our answer, I guess.
Come on,
Odd.
Pinpingho.
Pinpingho, really odd choice of play there. He kept it for so long, and now he's not playing around swipe.
Yeah. Well, this is a really annoying board to swipe.
Yeah. Ooh, Force of Nature.
Ooh,
He's
so
getting
there's the
close to the
combo.
Force of Nature Savage Roar.
I mean, he could even play. He's seen the Hex. One of the Hexes come out. I believe 1 Hex. He could throw down the
He
rack.
could throw down the rag. That's what I'm thinking right now. It's turn 8. Just do it.
Fits the curve.
Fits the curve nicely. He could, of course, Ancient Allure. Be a bit more conservative in his play.
Yep.
Oh, is he doing it?
There
He's
it is.
doing the 50-50. He wants it to hit that shade. And what's it going to be?
Oh, no!
Worst case out of the 3.
Well, that's actually not too bad.
It sets up the Force of Nature Savage Roar.
It gets rid of that taunt, which is a pretty big deal. This rag is going to be pretty hard to remove. He's going to have to use the shade plus something else, or I guess just the Flame Tongue Totem. Oh, this actually isn't too bad.
It's not too bad. He's got the Earth Shock, and he's got the Flame Tongue.
Yeah.
I wonder if a hero power is good here. I feel like dropping the Flame Tongue and trading your shade in the rag and then just Earth Shocking that shade.
That's pretty good.
Sure, it looks pretty scary as a 7-3, but you drop that Earth Shock and it suddenly becomes a lot less threatening. I believe a 1-2.
2-2.
1-2. Oh, wait, sorry, a 2-1.
2-1.
There we go. We got there in the end, TJ.
If you're reading from right to left,
yeah,
it's a 1-2.
Yeah.
If you're reading from left to right, like almost the rest of the world.
Wow. Put me in my place.
What is this, a manga?
That does also mean that he won't be able to clear out that Flame Tongue Totem. 2-1.
Or 1-2, depending on how you look at it.
That just got added to the list of things I will never live down when casting with TJ. Remember that time in 2014? We're gonna be old men.
Yeah, old
way
men
back when.
Casting the cyberspace games.
Do you remember way back when in pre-GVG Hearthstone, before human society fundamentally changed?
Before we moved to the moon.
Ready for some low-gravity GVG, man. What's it going to be? I feel like a Doomhammer Rockbiter on this turn.
Yeah.
With a... sorry, no, not with it. He's 1 mana short of that. I guess you could just use the Alakir.
Rockbiter.
Yeah. Eat that 5 damage with a Divine Shield instead of eating it to face.
A lot of win conditions in the hand, but he's not anywhere near lethal range to be able to utilize those as a legitimate win condition. Oh, he's going to clear.
Wow.
Whoa.
No Savage Roar for you,
Just
Mr.
missed 6 damage to face.
Yeah. Yeah, Pinpingho is definitely starting to look a bit, I don't know, out of gas?
Yeah.
What do you Hearthstone casters usually say in this situation?
He's definitely looking a bit something.
He's a bit something, and it's not good.
Yeah.
Right, looks like Max is just going to go ahead and cycle.
What do you young whipper-snapper Hearthstone casters?
What do you kids say these days? 2 Moonfires.
That's going to help him.
Yeah. He can Claw and Hero Power to go ahead and clear off this Alakir. The nice thing about Alakir, it's such a scary minion when you've got like the Flame Tongues and the Rock Biters. And then when those go away, it's like, oh, 3 damage to my face for an 8-mana legendary? Yeah.
Flame Tongue on both sides. Double Rockbiter. 28 damage.
Wow.
26 damage.
Sick, nasty.
Yep.
There's his favorite card, the Yeti. Does he pop the Doomhammer here? Oh, he sure does. Time to start just reaching out and slamming in the face.
Feels pretty terrible to play a Yeti into a Loatheb.
All right, Violet Teacher. Here's let's call this the lesser miracle.
Oh no, this is getting dangerously close to lethal. So
it's
21 damage, 21, 23 with the Moonfire,
23 with the Moonfire.
24 with the Innervate Hero Power, 1 damage off lethal.
Wait, with both Moonfires.
Yeah, so 24 damage with Innervate Hero Power, and he throws everything away.
Yeah, but this Savage Roar, if he can get a couple tokens out of this turn, is also going to be scary. What's he going to do? Trade 2 and use a Moonfire?
Yes.
Nice.
Best Moonfire. Also gets him a
2K12.
token.
Yeah, it gives him a free Wisp.
Yay!
Now that's value. All right, just go ahead and pass turn, and next turn he is so prepared for the Force of Nature Savage Roar. Innervate Hero Power. Moonfire.
Just throw every single card that he has.
But he needs to be careful because some of those tokens, man. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So he can go ahead and do that exact course of play. The Savage Roar from the face is going to successfully clear the...
He's got overkill
0-2.
right now.
Yeah, this is overkill. Here we go. Force of Nature Savage Roar. More than enough damage to give Max the first game win of the match with his Miracle Druid.
And that Miracle Druid really doing work over this weekend. It's pretty cool to see some players innovating, and I know Max wasn't the first person to introduce this deck, but utilizing it to great effect.
Didn't this deck only hit the scene this week?
Well, it was around for a while, but people were like, this deck is terrible.
This is crazy in a bad way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thankfully, Life Coach was streaming it all of this week in the lead up to DreamHack, and that is what I guess brought it to the wider audience. I always have a great time seeing that. Somehow you feel a lot less mad dying to a Miracle Druid as compared to the Miracle Rogue.
Yeah, Druid is just like, oh, that's just a Druid being a Druid.
Yeah. Oh,
Force of Nature, Savage Roar, silly Druid.
all those 1/1s from Violet Teacher, so weak. Wait, Savage Roar what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's like the Rogue, you're like, ah!
Yeah.
It's a Rogue!
Yeah. Anyway, the next game of this match is going to be Hunter versus Priest, and we're going to see if Pinpingho can tie up the series. I mean, this guy, if he stays in the Legendary Series for one more week with a first or second place finish, he's going to have so many points built up that there may be no contenders to his point season throne. He may sneak into the land final as one of the dark horse candidates.
Yeah, and definitely a solid player as we've seen. But this matchup could be a little tough. We saw Max's Priest earlier on. It's a very control-heavy Priest. If that Priest can keep the board clear earlier on in the game and be able to stabilize before the Hunter can put out a lot of pressure, Hunter's eventually just going to run out of juice.
Yep. So the Hunter versus Priest is I think another matchup that we've seen a fair bit of.
Oh, yeah.
I'm really hoping that the Priest can really stabilize things. We've seen some great games, especially in yesterday's Open Finals, that I hope we see in the Legendary Series today for the first time.
Yeah.
And on that note, I guess we're ready for the game. Hunter versus Priest here in Game 2 of the match.
Shall bring victory.
All right, well, Zombie Chow, we said it earlier, the bane of the Hunter's existence.
Max really knows how to use this card to its full advantage. It's just so strong right now against a lot of the starts you see. He's going to go ahead and drop that on turn 1, and it is just going to be such a pain for Pinpingho to deal with.
Yeah, I mean, he could Leper Gnome even coin out the Web Spinner, and he's just going to be able to clear both of those. Oh, he's not even going to play anything.
Wow. That is the power of Zombie Chow. And realistically,
yes, the threat.
There we go.
Face.
The BM shall burn you. Realistically, Max doesn't even need to go to face there. When that Zombie Chow dies, it's going to get the Hunter right back up to full health.
Realistically.
I mean, there's no reason not to.
Oh, look at that.
Wow.
Great line of play there.
There
not
we go.
sacrificing those low-cost Death Rattle minions.
Yep.
Sacrificing them to the Zombie Chow god. Instead, he says, you know what? I'll hold on to them, and I'll play a Misha, which is really tough for Priest to deal with.
But dropping a Dark Cultist and passing the turn here is very similar.
Yeah.
It's a very similar line of play. You know what your opponent wants, and you're just going to deny it from him. These are the turns that decide this game.
Yeah.
If Max lets this get out of hand, if he trades in his Zombie Chow necessarily, he could be in real trouble.
Yeah, I don't know about the Dark Cultist here.
Really?
Well, actually, yeah, I do.
I feel like it's great.
Yeah, it's good because you're thinking ahead. Mm-hmm. Because what's going to happen is he's going to if you play the Dark Cultist, he's going to trade the Misha into the Zombie Chow, expecting an even trade into the Dark Cultist. But then what he'll do is just play the injured Blade Master on turn 4 and be able to choose which creature he buffs. So, thinking ahead.
Thinking ahead? Yeah, it was interesting. If he had left the...
Ooh.
Wow.
But that's
brutal.
That's a roadblock in that plan. You know who else was thinking ahead? Pinpingho.
These guys are just 5 steps ahead of everyone.
Yeah, Pinpingho.
They may even be ahead of themselves.
Yeah, Pinpingho is actually thinking about turn 9 right now.
Wow.
Which is crazy to think about Hunter because usually his turn 9 is like Flare hero power.
Yeah. What do you even do here? Circle of Healing would be great. Hero power your Blade Master out of Misha range.
That would be great.
I guess so. Maybe
you know, it would
based
have
off
also
of
been
that,
great if he had 10 mana that turn.
Yeah,
that would have been great.
Or just 20 mana. Why not go there? Wow,
Yeah,
there's the Houndmaster. These mid-range hunters, man.
Yeah, we're talking about what's great. Mid-range hunter is one of those things.
One of those things. Ooh, does that change things? Maybe just drop the... Nah, he's going to go for it.
Animal Companion seems like a fantastic player here. This is one of those situations where Leok is something that you want.
I think Leok is pretty unfairly looked down upon.
Leok!
Leok is a great
Leok,
card.
guide me!
Oh, another Misha. But again, still not exactly easy for that hunter to deal with. 3 4-health minions on the board. Those double Shadower Deaths are just looking...
Double Shadower Death Mind
really
Control is...
Wow. Think about it. Leok actually would have hurt him there. Sure, he would have got rid of the Sludge Belcher, but then it's
Oh, then
turn 6 double death.
Thanks for letting me use my deaths.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure he
And
would
then-
have cleared
right.
into one of those, but still.
And then I guess thinking ahead, it's like, oh, high main. Glad
Yeah.
I used it on that,
And then
that
thinking-
Houndmaster earlier.
And then since you're Pinpingho, you're thinking even further ahead. Second high main.
All right, my head is actually starting to hurt here. You could slow it down a notch. I'd appreciate it.
Yeah, Pinpingho's head
Scientist?
never hurts.
Yeah, he's always ahead, man. What do you do here?
This is
Drop
so
the-
awkward. Super awkward.
I feel like dropping that Bloodfin Raptor. That's the 3-2 or the 2-3? That's the
3-2.
3-2. Okay, so that doesn't play around Holy Nova.
Yeah, the River Crocolisk is
River
the 2/3
Croc.
beast.
All right.
In a
He's gonna
battle
go ahead.
between the Bloodfen Raptor, I'm talking about in a real-world scenario. Okay.
Wow, okay.
In the battle between the Bloodfen Raptor
This is where-
and the River Crocolisk, who would win?
No one. It's a tie. 2-3 trades into
What-
3-2.
Yeah, but no, I'm talking in a real-world sense.
What on earth are you talking about, TJ?
Just forget about it. You obviously don't know anything about dinosaurs.
Were you gonna bring up the whole thing about how raptors are actually really small and not as big as they're made out to be in pop culture?
That's
I have heard
entirely
that.
correct.
Okay, so I'd go with the Crocolisk.
Velociraptors, some of Velociraptors were actually the size of chickens.
Okay, but
That's a fact.
That's a bloodfin raptor, and with blood in the name, that's just terrifying.
Yeah, Bloodfen is definitely a fictional place. So
Look at
we're-
that thing,
we're talking
man.
about real raptors here.
Wow. If I were Max, I'd be afraid of that guy.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be looking at that looking like, oh, it's a chicken. I'd say that's 3 power.
Oh!
Oh, but the Shadow Madness.
Okay, so the
Deny the
Shadow
secret.
Madness option here, do you deny the secret or do you take the 1/1s?
Oh, you deny the secret for sure. That is such a big tempo swing.
Oh,
Really?
well,
Wow.
I'm taking the 1/1s.
And now you can Power Word Shield, I guess. See what you get.
Draw a card.
He does run, I think, the Holy Smites in this deck, right? I think he runs one. Didn't we see
I
that
think we
yesterday?
saw one yesterday, but I don't think we've seen any today. And
Right.
players, they don't have to run the same deck that they ran
Right,
yesterday.
right.
Max actually, I think, took
his Warlock out.
Yeah, he took the Warlock out.
Or one of his decks out for sure.
So,
Looks like he's sitting on a stronger UTH turn as well.
yeah.
Maybe wants that down when the Juggler's down. Either way, though, this match is so neck and neck. But
Oh,
it is,
draws the
wow,
Holy
there it
Nova.
is. I was just about to say it's curving kind of into the stage of the game where Max feels a lot more comfortable with a lot of his decisions.
Yep. Oh, and the
Oh,
explosive
and it's an
trap. So he's even
explosive
going to
trap,
heal his
too.
Spectral Spider.
Wow.
That's fantastic.
Really solid stuff here. Pinpingho isn't happy, but Max sure as heck is.
Yeah. This seems to be the trend with Max's Priest. They're long games, but he's pretty good at stabilizing.
Yep,
He had a terrible starting hand, too.
he did. Man, look at that. Turn 8, just popping the hero power and passing. That is not what you want to see.
No, because the Priest just negates your hero power every single turn. Such a tough matchup for the Hunter. You have to overwhelm them early on to be able to have a chance.
Yep, let's see what this UTH does. Even then, it's like, clear the 1-3.
Oh, there's a spin to high main, but it's turn 10 next turn for Max.
Wow, which means mind control.
He's just going to take that sucker.
That's what he's going to do. And then it's just, you know, from that point on, what does Pinpingho do?
Well, he can play the explosive trap, unleash the hounds, then concede.
Wow. I love that.
Shout out to the people who have been here since the beginning of the broadcast.
Yeah, seriously. Only the 90s kids will remember that joke.
That's how long we've been going on today, yeah.
Still, though, it's like you can't really
no.
play around mind control because Max is now at the stage where your puny little 1-2s and 2-3s, they're not going to do a whole lot against Priest. You got to think about the Ragnaros, the Ysera. At this stage, Pinpingho, he's just been drowned out. His only choice to get back in is that Savannah High main.
Yeah. Not really much to think about here. I mean, he might be thinking about that mind control. He hasn't seen Shadow or Death. Turn 10. Perfect turn for that mind control. Max is... I wonder what he's thinking about right now. It's not really much. Oh, he does explosive traps. Did he play around the mind control?
Wow.
How do you play around the mind control? He's going to have to play that Savannah High main eventually.
Max is going to get greedy and try and steal like a 1-1.
Yeah.
Oh, I got the dog. All right, and that's going to be explosive. A circular healing here is all Max needs to just completely negate that entire turn and sneak through another 6 damage to his opponent's face. Wow, he decides not to use it. I guess maybe holding out for the Akanai?
Yeah, or even just Northshire Cleric.
Oh, that's true.
There's not many plays that Mac can make in this game right now that are going to lose him the match.
Right. With that Belcher up, though, it's kind of keeping him safe from something like a UTH.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Wow. Pinpingho is about to have a huge tempo swing against his favor. He can't be happy with this right now. Oh, no, and he even silences, which means that Savannah High main can't be kill commanded and give him an extra token. Not that that would have brought him back into the game, but still, really rough stuff for Pinpingho.
And Max says, "Thank you very much, sir. I'll be taking that."
Pinpingho is not happy. 5 tokens after the kill command next turn, but even then, really doesn't get him anything. It's a total of...
Whoa!
Uh-oh. I'm wrong. I take it back.
If every juggle hits face, he still doesn't win.
What is he deciding to do here, though? He could have popped that kill command first just to get an extra token, but
he needs that
kill
command for the reach.
Right. What's he looking for right now? He is at 12 health. Reach or no reach, he's dead next turn.
He could put 11 damage on face here. And these 1/1s can actually be pretty pesky.
Oh, sorry, yeah. No, that's right. He's 1 off lethal. Priest, Max's Priest, that is 1 off lethal.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
It's really rough. There we go, the kill command to the face.
Has he used that second kill command?
I believe so.
Oh, no.
Northshire Cleric.
Oh, no.
What is the line of play going to be here?
He can draw into lethal here. What can he draw that is going to give him lethal? Second Holy Nova?
I think you want to trade into the Juggler and heal that Zombie Chow. Oh, maybe not even heal it, because that way if you draw Akanai, it's going to be within the range of the Akanai circle, putting 5 burst damage into his opponent's face. No, he doesn't go for it. This is so risky. Kill command off the top or Eagle Horn Bow. If he doesn't heal his face, he could be in trouble. And
there it is! And he draws into the lethal. And Max going to take a 2-0 lead in this series, and Pinpingho is on the ropes. What's the last matchup?
I don't know. We'll find out in just a second. But 2-0 lead, man. Wow. That has got to be scary for Pinpingho. Making it all the way to second place last week through the open bracket and getting knocked out at this point by someone, a newcomer from the open bracket.
Yeah.
He's got to stay. He's got to hold on in this match.
Yeah, Max yesterday actually had a pretty tough time making it through the open finals. He actually took second place, and all of his matches were really close.
Yeah.
Today he seems to be a little more on point, a little more in form.
Making much better decisions for sure.
Yeah, and he's just dominating through today. 2-0 lead over Pinpingho, and now Max is going to have his opportunity to bring out the Hunter. And if you remember correctly, Pinpingho is the only player who's actually bringing the Handlock.
Oh, right.
And so this is not a good matchup for Handlock.
We talked about this yesterday. A good win rate for Handlock against Hunter is considered to be 48%. If you don't get something like a double kill command and just go to face on turn 7 or 8, you could be out of luck.
Yeah, and we saw actually Handlock yesterday take out the I forgot which players it actually was, but there was a Handlock who beat the Hunter, but he relied on having double Molten Giant, Defender of Argus, really just the best cards that he could possibly have asked for that matchup. So
and even then, he was only 1 draw away from losing that game. It just shows how volatile Handlock is against Hunter.
Yeah, and right off the bat, this is a decent hand. You can see Max actually runs those Stranglethorn Tigers, which synergizes really well with cards like Houndmaster, just that 5 damage to the face that you're almost guaranteed from having that stealth creature.
Yeah, he could drop down the Stranglethorn Tigers, rely on other sources of damage, and then just blitz down the Handlock from 15 plus. And that is one of the real weaknesses of Handlock, is that you want to get down as low as possible and then just stay alive. Hunter has so many ways to just sneak that last little bit of damage in.
Yeah. Those pesky Hunters.
Those darn Hunters.
Those pesky Hunters and their sneaky damage.
Yep. All right, what are we going to see here from Pinpingho as a response? If Max coins out the Leper Gnome, I feel like that Mortal Coil is going to get some value.
Yeah. Minor amounts of value, though, but he has to make the decision. Do you silence the Undertaker, or do you Mortal Coil the Leper Gnome? One plays to curve, the other does not play to curve. Ooh. Or just, Ancient Watcher.
Wow, and he doesn't pop any of it. Right, silencing the Watcher is a really clear play.
Man. Yeah,
he can still drop the Soulfire on this 3-4 Undertaker, and that looks to be a very solid response from Pinpingho.
Or just silence the Ancient Watcher. He can actually silence the Ancient Watcher. There's so many plays.
Silence the Ancient Watcher, Mortal Coil the Leper Gnome, and then just Soulfire that 3-4. You're left with a really solid board and just a 1-2 from the Hunter.
Yeah, you could even sack the Ancient Watcher into and he draws the Hellfire as well.
Such a solid card against this form of Hunter.
But
things are looking up for Pinpingho.
At the same time, you got to be careful when you use the Hellfire, because that can put you into lethal ranges that you wouldn't have been at otherwise. And of course, health is one of the most dangerous resources for Warlock against the Hunter, just because, I mean, just so hard to be able to deal with. I'm not sure if he wants to Soulfire this Undertaker.
Yeah, I guess
he loves his hand right now. His hand is really good.
I feel like that second Watcher, there are a lot of cards in this game that you run 2 of just so you guarantee you get the 1. You don't really need 2 Gadget Sands as a Miracle Rogue, for instance. But, and I feel like the Watcher is one of them. But at the same time, Earthen Ring Farseer, Hellfire, those cards could get a lot more value than just the extra 2 health that you'll have on your Watcher.
Yeah.
Silencing the Watcher and then trading it into the 3-4 is not a bad play either. Nope. Decides to go for it.
Oh.
Gets rid of the Earthen Ring Farseer. That can be pretty problematic.
I would probably think that's probably one of the cards that he wanted to keep the most.
Right. Could be a Animal Companion here. Nice play on curve. Oh, and he gets it.
That's always tougher. Have we seen many Leoks today?
Leok. I'm part of the Leok appreciation clan. But look at the power of this Hellfire here.
I'm not.
Drops it, swings face, and when was the last time you saw a handlock keep health parity with a Hunter? Doesn't happen every day. Super solid start from Pinpingho.
Yeah.
Oh, equal health.
Oh no,
16-16.
15.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah,
wow.
you're great at spotting when they're at 2 health.
Yeah. Every number that's not 2, I'm bad at. Even 1.
Even 1.
1 is usually 0 for me.
Yeah. Oh, and he draws the Jiraxis.
Oh, and a Molten Giant too. But
yeah,
that's probably going to sit dead in his hand for a little bit.
Yeah, the Mountain Giant, not that great of a card in this matchup, because you usually tend to empty your hand pretty quickly against the Hunter.
All right, remember though, there is a lot of burst damage in a Hunter's hand. If he can't shore this up, if he sneaks in, you know, he could even consider just bowing the face here, getting him down to 11.
Yeah.
Those hero powers are going to sneak up. It's only turn 5. He has so 5 into 6 into 7 into 8. That's 4 hero powers, which is 8 damage. A kill command on top of that would mean the end of Pinpingho's Warlock. This is the volatility of that matchup.
Yep. Still, though, it's so much easier for the Hunter to find ways to win than it is for the Handlock to find ways to win. The Hunter can piece together a lot of opportunities for him to be able to finish out the game, where the Warlock is reliant on very timely draws. So he's really thinking about it. And, I mean, Max is not the fastest of players, but that's probably a good thing.
Through, yeah.
Definitely making sure he thinks through all the possibilities of what could happen, trying to think ahead.
Oops.
Oh, well, he thought about the turn for a long time, and then
he is playing around the Molten Giant here by not swinging in with the Web Spinner. If he does this, though, I really feel like he just needs to go face with that bow. He can't count on getting that spell. Oh, and a Siphon Soul. Wow. Siphon Soul into Earthen Ring Farseer is a very solid response to this aggression from the Hunter. And like we mentioned, he could be at 8 right now.
You base.
Jiraxis.
It was a tandem.
That was a tandem Jiraxis. 2 Jiraxi would be terrifying. Absolutely terrifying.
All right. Silverback Patriarch, probably not what he wanted to get from that Web Spinner. Are you part of the Silverback Patriarch Appreciation Club as well?
Well, I'm a big fan of Kranich, and Kranich was able to pick up a win in the group stages of BlizzCon opening weekend using exactly that card. And talk to Firebat sometime. He'll be the first to tell you that was literally the one card that could save Kranich in that 2-2 set against Firebat.
Wow.
Yeah. So there we go. That's all
So
you need
that's
to
a
say.
yes?
The gorilla. Sometimes you just gotta fear the gorilla. All right.
Yeah. Why couldn't it be
No.
a matriarch? I think we're getting into a little bit of deeper conversation
We
in this
are.
Hearthstone cast.
We are. There are some serious societal issues you're bringing up right now. But still, 2 turns away from that Draxus coming down. A Siphon
he's-
Soul in the next turn. He's starting to look a bit safe.
Yeah, just like that. It seemed like he was like, oh, he's against the ropes, and now I think he's in pretty good shape.
Yeah, pretty back and forth. I feel like Pinpingho got off to the dream start a handlock can have. He had those early threats that you really need to play, like the Watcher, the Owl. But past that point, you know, kind of slid back to Max's Hunter, and now it's back again in favor of Pinpingho.
Yeah, he clears what he can here.
Kill command would be great, and this is so tricky as well because he wants that Earthen Ring Farseer back in his hand to heal up, but at the same time it means losing a 4/4 taunt. Oh, Sludge Belcher off the top is not bad at all.
But at the same time, I mean, can you afford to Sledge Belcher here? Because you leave a beast on the board to kill command hero power.
That's all it takes.
Yeah.
So what do you think? Siphon Soul the 1/1?
Siphon Soul the 1/1.
Then just go ahead and which 1/1? The Silverback Patriarch,
Yeah.
and then just trade your Earthen Ring Farseer into one of his 1/1s and pray it's not Snake Trap.
I wouldn't even do that.
Wow, he's going face though.
I would just, yeah, I would go face at this point. Even if you play Jiraxis, you're still on a little bit of a clock. Oh, 8 health.
He is dead to Kill Command Hero Power, and then one of the 1/1 hits. Is
What's
he
it
gonna
gonna
get it?
be?
It's gonna be Explosive Trap.
Oh.
Not quite. But still, Jirax is coming down this turn. Oh, the Kodo. Not what he wants to see. It's not a taunt. Pinpingho is potentially 2 turns away from taking down Max's Hunter.
He's still alive, though. Still alive.
What do you play here? Kodo Explosive Trap? Well, we know that that's the best course to play now that we know Jiraxis is in the hand.
Yeah, you got to play the Kodo. What
Yeah,
else
Hero
are you
Power
going to kill
does
that
nothing
Kodo with?
here. I mean, maybe an Iron Beak Owl or something is a good Kodo target, but that's it. Everything else, I think, has three attack or above.
And this is almost certainly going to be that Jirax's turn. And now Pinpingho.
Ooh, Max, a little bit of anxiety in his
One
in his
more
face.
turn. I don't think there's a single card that's going to do it.
4, 6, yeah. Other than maybe a taunt. That's not
At
it.
least the Hounds.
That's game. Max's Hunter is going to fall to Pinpingho's handlock. He is going to be able to tie, not tie up the series, but at least hang on, if not by a thread. 1-2, and take it to the blind pick phase.
Yeah, that's a pretty big deal. Again,
If he
this
misses lethal here, I'm leaving. I'm leaving the building.
dropping the mic. I'm out of here.
I'm out of here. Solo cast time for Azumo. All right, but on that note, Pinpingho stays in the match and has, I guess, now 2 chances of blind pick games to take down Max and go for the reverse all kill and make it through to the next week of play.
Yeah, but meanwhile, Max only has to win one more game. And what deck do you think he'll go with? He's had a lot of
I feel like his
success.
Priest is good.
The Priest seems to be his go-to choice.
Yep.
The Hunter he's had a lot of success with as well.
Ooh, he goes for the
The
Hunter.
Hunter, okay.
It's exact
Oh
same matchup,
my
and I feel like that
gosh.
is definitely in Max's favor. It is so rare for a handlock to get such a solid start.
Yeah. I think a lot of people say that matchup is unwinnable. I would put it at about a 70-30, just because it's a lot easier, like I said, for a Hunter to piece together a win. But again, we saw Pinpingho prevail in the last match, and it's possible that if Pinpingho wins this, that we'll see the exact same match three times in a row.
I mean, sometimes you just want to play those odds. And if you think it's 60-40 or 70-30, you know, you may lose one game, you may even lose 2, but that third game may be able to take it home.
Yeah.
All right, so we are now into the game. It is going to be an exact repeat of... Ooh.
Wow. So
Ooh.
Molten Giant is an automatic keep against Hunter, and you want to keep
Sun
that taunt
Fury
giver.
Protector, too. Those are 2 great cards. And the Siphon Soul and the Soulfire.
This is a pretty good hand.
It's not bad. It's not bad at all. Let's see what Max can do. Wow, chooses to play the Leper Gnome before the Web Spinner.
Yeah. Wants that extra power on the board. And the
Ooh, there's
Jiraxis.
the Jiraxis too. But are you going to coin tap here? Or are you going to want to hold that coin for maybe a Jiraxis?
Or you can just coin Sun Fury.
That is a start we're seeing more and more of these days. And he's going to go for it. Taunt or no taunt, so much direct damage to the face. What you really want to do is just prevent the Hunter from getting that 6 or 8 damage from the Leper Gnome in the first place.
Oh, no.
Oh, man.
The gauntlet
That's painful.
begins.
Here we go. Max really all inning. Doesn't have a whole lot of options after this line of play. He's just going to be relying on his top decks and his hero power.
Not a great draw there. Soulfire, most likely going to get Soulfire, but what's he going to discard? Oh! He wants to discard that Mountain Giant. Mountain Giant or one of the Siphon Souls. What is it? No!
One of the worst ones he could have
wow.
discarded. He is not happy with that.
That is a big deal right now. Losing that Molten Giant is going to make it so it's going to be that much harder. And he already played the Sun Fury on turn 2. So he has no way to give anything taunt.
Oh, and the Web Spinner is actually a great card. It means he gets to put an extra piece of power down.
Web Spinner from the Web Spinner.
All right, watch this be King Crush. Watch this be King Crush.
If you get
turn
a Web
8,
Spinner from your Web Spinner, the only next thing in line would have to be a King Crush.
Yeah. It's math.
It would have won
statistics.
It would have won in the game last game.
Yeah.
Job done.
Iron Beak Owl. All right, 3 cards, and it's an Angry Chicken.
Oh, my goodness. Max.
Oh, but you know what? Angry Chicken, Houndmaster next turn.
Whoa.
Just wait, man. This is going to be a 7-2 or something like that. I guarantee it.
Or something like that.
Or something like that. Oh, come on.
What about the second Houndmaster?
Come on, Max. You can do it.
Angry
No.
Chicken double Houndmaster.
Instead, it looks like he's going for that Lotheb. Doesn't want to see anything like a Hellfire or a Siphon Soul.
Oh, he draws.
Oh, that's really lucky.
Second Mountain Giant, or Molten Giant.
All right, this is pretty much the last tap Pinpingho is going to be able to do. Wow, he gets the Hellfire. Not a bad card.
Okay, so this is a big turn here. Lotheb is going to do wonders in the ways of...
Yeah, and this is smart. This is smart by Max. He really wants to get that secret up and running as quick as he can.
Secret online.
Freezing Trap. Probably would have preferred to see the explosive just to sneak a little bit extra damage in the next couple turns. But we are getting so close to Max top decking that kill command and sliding his way through into the finals.
Yeah, I don't think he can do much here. Molten Giant
probably
costs
just gonna be
4 mana.
It's probably just going to be a Mountain Giant.
He can't even afford to tap. Next turn though, if he lives, he could play the Mountain Giant and the Defender of Argus, but then that would mean he would be so low.
And so reliant on that kill command. His opponent not getting that kill command, I should say. Sorry. All right, there's an Undertaker. Probably just going to want to drop the Angry Chicken and Houndmaster. Or maybe just Houndmaster and Hero Power and push in all that damage. He could even consider, yeah, I feel like Angry Chicken, Houndmaster, and then just pass. Don't put him into that Molten. This may be one of those few moments you see a lot of players play.
But you saw him discard one of the Molten Giants earlier in the match.
That is true.
You can't play around everything.
That is very true. But still, 11.
And a Shadow Flame would just completely kill your board.
Keeping the Angry Chicken and the Houndmaster taunted up on the board would mean he is got lethal on board if there's no clear.
Yeah, I like this line of play here. Clearing the board, making sure that he's in an okay spot. But is he going to apply pressure? Oh, here we go.
Oh, doesn't decide to pop that Hellfire. That may be good news for him, as there is a Hellfire in hand of Pinpingho, but I think by this point he is just too low to use it.
3 more turns until Jiraxis. I don't think he's going to make it.
Siphon Soul the 5/5.
That puts him in dangerous range, but I think you're right. That's the only play he's going to be able to make here.
He's
Molten
got
Giant,
2
then Siphon
Souls in hand, though.
Molten Giant, Siphon Soul seems to be the best play.
I wonder.
And it looks like that's what he's going to do.
Does he decide to go for the Argus?
no.
He does. Not playing around the Beast. A Beast in a kill command with Hero Power. Wow. One more draw. What's it going to be? It's going to be a Haunted Creeper. Not enough for Max to take this home. Just yet, at least. We are getting so close to Siphon Soul, keeping Pinpingho in the game and waiting for that Hellfire, for that Jiraxis to come stabilize the board, just as we saw in the previous match.
Yeah, he can clear this Molten Giant here, though. It would take all of his creatures.
Everything.
But it's possible. 5 health now remaining. Lethal on the board next turn. He's got the Siphon Soul available. That would only bring him up to 10. Oh, wow.
He's got to check if this is an explosive trap as well. He has to go for a minion. It's just such a tricky position.
Two more turns he needs to survive.
I feel like clearing that 1-2 also just denies the chance that your opponent has a beast on board for that kill command.
But he doesn't want it to get freezing trap. Kill
Really?
command doesn't kill him. He'll be at 1 health.
Right, but what's the value of keeping an Argus on the board if you never attack? I feel like he's snake trapped is what he doesn't want to see.
Oh no!
1 more turn for Pinpingho to survive and get that Jiraxis out. Just 1 more turn. This could be the second game where Pinpingho has been on a razor's edge. He also gets the Earthen Ring Farseer, so now he gets to choose between either the Siphon Soul or the Earthen Ring.
If all he does this turn is Earthen Ring Farseer.
Would he be dead to Snake Trap here?
No. Unless he plays another creature, then he'd be dead to Snake Trap and Unleash the Hounds.
Unleash the Hounds. That'd be 3,
5, 6, 7. But he would have to play the Earthen Ring Farseer too.
Wow, it looks like he's going for the Drake instead of the Siphon Soul. Puts the Earthen Ring down. That is going to be 3 power from the Unleash the Hounds. Is flooding the board going to be the end of Pinpingho in this match?
Even then, I just don't know if there's going to be many outs for Max in this game. Pinpingho seems to be playing this matchup very, very well. Seems to have a lot of experience with it.
All right, let's count it. 3 from UTH, 4, 6. Kill command ends it. Oh, and it's a flurry. He has 1 more chance.
Oh, no. What's it going to be?
That's the kill command!
Oh, my God.
Max advances to the finals. Wait, does he see it? He's got to see it.
How can he not see it?
How can he not see it? Exact mana. There we go. That is going to be Max. So close. He picked this matchup.
Wow.
Oh, and Pinpingho with the reaction.
Wow. 1 more turn and he would have had the Jiraxis. Just 1 more turn.
You can see Max there. So much anxiety on Max's face. He makes it to the finals where he's going to go on to face D2, who just placed top 4 at BlizzCon. Again, that is going to be so big for this newcomer to the Hearthstone competitive scene.
Yeah, this is a pretty big deal, and Max had a really tough run yesterday. Of course, we said that in the Open Finals, but managed to take that second place, automatically qualified for today. And today, he's just been on a tear, taking out Noxus earlier, now Pinpingho, got his sights set on D2, but it's going to be a tough road. And you can see on your screen there, we do see the bracket, and of course, D2 and Max, we'll see them
Final
in the next
match of the day.
And we'll also see them next week.
Indeed, both of these players have now qualified through to the 3rd week of the ESL Legendary Series. So that is going to be a fantastic match for us to watch. But first, we are going to take a quick little break. We are going to the final match, guys, so don't go anywhere. D2 versus Max will begin shortly.
Yeah, right after this.